Hello everybody, so today is the video that I think everybody's been waiting for, because I've had loads of questions. How is the pea and barley crop doing? Well, today is mowing day. We are cutting it. We've actually, this is the second attempt at cutting this. I've actually, about 10 days ago, we tried to mow this crop. You might be able to see in the background, the headland is cleared and it's growing again. So about 10 days ago we tried to mow this with the class mowers, front and back mowers, and it was a little bit damp in the bottom and we just couldn't mow it. Those mowers, because of the design of them, where they're the mounted mowers, they have got skids underneath the whole width of the bed, where it's under some with grass, and it was a little bit damp in the bottom. It just kept picking up soil on the skids underneath the bed, and as it was picking up, it just bulldozed the soil into the blades and bunged it all up. So we couldn't cut it. So we ended up baling and wrapping the headland off of this, and the weather turned against us anyway. So we only did that little bit. So what we've done, we've had a change of machine, so you can probably see. In behind you can see we've got the old Parrot 306 mower again, and because it's trailed and because of the design of the mower, there's just a skid on each end of the bed, and the whole bed is clear of the soil, so we can now carry on mowing like we intended to. We are 10 days later, like I said, so the grain has filled a bit more than we would like, or more than we intended, should we say. So mowing it with a conditioner, we are losing a little bit of grain, which is not ideal, but we got, you know, it's what we got. So the original intention with this crop was to cut it as an arable silage, which is just leaf with no grain in it. Now 10 days ago the ears were out, but they weren't filled yet. But now some of them are filled. Some of them are filled really well. They're quite plump. They're at the cheesy stage, but equally some of them are not filled at all. So we've missed our ideal harvest window or cutting window, but we've got some settled weather now. So we're just taking it off now, because if you leave it anymore, it will be gone too far and the grains will be too hard, and it will just, the cows won't be able to digest hard grain. As it is at the minute, they will digest it just fine, but if it was to ripen anymore and get harder, they cannot digest it. It just passes straight through, out in the dung, and then is wasted. So if you didn't see the drilling of this crop, I'll put a little link up here somewhere, if I remember. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen us drilling this, you can go and watch that. So this was drilled Easter Saturday, and it's had one dressing of fertiliser and no spray at all. And you can see in the background there is a few weeds in it. It's mostly fat end, but we didn't spray it because we didn't want to lose the peas. If we'd have sprayed the fat end, we may well have lost the pea crop. There's no point planting peas and then spraying them out. So I had a comment, probably in one of the drilling videos, about why did we plant the peas and the barley. The peas give us some protein in the leaf and nuts, so that is the reason for that, is to put some kind of a protein mix to raise the protein level of the silage a little bit. And actually peas are quite palatable, so hopefully it will increase the intake on the forage. Okay, so we've just jumped out to take a look at the crop. So as you can see, for an 8-foot swath, there's a nice bit here. We are losing a few seeds by cutting it with a conditioner. But as you can see, they're nice and plump. They're just at the cheesy stage now. Okay, so some of them have actually got no grain in at all. Okay, so if we take this one, it's still standing. There's no grain in there. You know, it's not started filling the grain yet. And some are quite, some like this one, just a couple of foot away, are quite full. So it is a little bit weedy. We haven't sprayed this at all. We didn't want to lose our peas by spraying for the fat end. We may well have lost peas. If I just try and find a pea plant, we will see what kind of what the pods have got in them. I can't find a pea at the moment. But certainly got a good crop of grass coming in the bottom. You can see that's coming there. Okay, so it's a good stubble's kind of that long, fingering a little bit. That's a good 4 inches of stubble, which we want to leave. We don't want to cut too short, and we want it to come back quickly. Can't find a pea. Okay, so here's a couple of pea plants. So this is what big plump peas in there. Okay, so if we'd have cut this when we had intended to, and we wouldn't have been so advanced as this, the peas would have been just tiny little in the pod. Well, they taste quite nice actually. We could have peas for dinner, couldn't I? Yeah, so you can see there's some more peas in there. Okay, so you can see the headland that was cut kind of 10 days ago. It's come back really quickly actually. Okay, so you can see the regrowth, stubble in the bottom. One or two places the barley is shooting again. Okay, so you can see the barley here is shooting on again, but it won't come to much by the time we cut it later on. class mowers. I said in that video that we had sold the mower we had previously. We used to run 2 mowers, so we had a class mower and this Carrot. So I said in that video that we sold the class mower, that was gone, that went in an auction. We were going to keep the Carrot because this Carrot mower was new in 1989, new to this farm, so it's very old, but it's done until about 2014 or 15. We can't remember exactly when we bought the class mower. This mowed everything on the farm. It would have been up around 400, 500, 600 acres a year. But then we bought the class mower, and it kind of became our second mower. And when we bought the 2 new mowers, we decided we were going to keep this mower because its trade-in value was next to nothing, or its sale value was next to nothing. It would be better for us to keep it because we knew it was good despite its age, and we would hang on to it as a backup. Well, during 2019 it didn't move an inch, it didn't cut a single blade of grass. And over the winter we decided we might as well sell it. There's no, it's only taking up space in the shed, although it's worth very little, we just as well get our space back. So we entered it in a sale in a collective auction in our local cattle market. That was due to take place in April of this year. Well, everybody knows nothing happened in April, so the sale was cancelled. So we still got the mower, obviously, and now it's come out. I've got it going this morning, greased it round, checked the oils, and it's working as it always did, reliably. Not the fastest, but for this job it's proven ideal. So we were saved a little bit by the old coronavirus, allowing us to keep this, or forcing us into keeping the mower, and we have now put it back to work in what year will this will be? What's this? It's 31st season, so that's not bad going for a mower. 31 years. Yeah, it's covered a lot of acres in its time. There can't be too many 31-year-old mowers still putting in a good day's work. Starting out sunny this morning, it's come over a little bit cloudy now. We don't want it too hot on this, but it needs to dry out a little, just a little bit too wet at the bottom with all that grass to cut it and pick it up straight away. So we'll cut it today and pick it up tomorrow. There's a little strip in the middle. That's where I tried to mow it with the class mowers. You can see there's some tufty bits there. I'll have to tidy those off in a minute. But that was just where the soil was building up under the bed, bulldozing up. There's no way you could carry on like that. And this mower with a different design underneath, and we're just running on the two skids rather than the whole bed. It's fine along. Just making a tidy job. And, well worth keeping. Would have been in a bit of trouble had we sold it when we intended to. Judging by the rate of growth on the headland, it won't be too long, depending on if the weather carries on like it has been with nice and showery, warm and showery. It won't be too long, we'll be out here again, taking this off. Right, so we're just approaching the end of the first field. There's 2 fields to mow, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to end the video here. We've had a little bit of drone footage, we've had a little bit of looking at the crop. I've had quite a lot of interest in this crop. Lots of comments, people wanting to know how it's going, following it through. So by keeping this mowing video as a standalone video, rather than mixing it in with picking it up and our whole second cut silage video, I think I'm going to keep this one separate, just as a mowing video, to kind of bring you to the final end of the crop, if you like. So I'm going to end it here, and hopefully next week's video we will be picking this up, and then we've got a whole load of grass silage to do as well. So that will all be mixed into one video. So if you come back next week, you can see picking it up and clamping it. And also we've got, how much have we got to do? Fair order, I don't know. What have we got? We've got to do 30. We've probably got 70 or 80 acres of second cut to do this week, so that will be in next week's video. So like I say, it will keep the pea and barley crop as a standalone video. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up to show us you've watched it and you've enjoyed it, or maybe you haven't enjoyed it, but anyway. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time when we are picking up the silage.